I met Elena on a Thursday afternoon, the kind of slow, honey-colored day where even the dust floating in the air looks poetic. My friend had roped me into helping with a charity event by the lakefront, and I was half distracted, stacking chairs, pretending to be useful when she walked in. Elena, she didn't demand attention. She didn't need to. She moved through the room with this quiet assurance, a gentle, confident grace that made everyone else fade a little. Her hair was loosely tied back, a few strands falling around her face. Her eyes, warm, deep, aware, landed on me as I held out a stack of flyers. When she smiled, something in my chest tightened like a pulled string. She looked older than me. Not dramatically, just enough that it made me straighten up a little, speak a little more carefully, pretend I was more confident than I was. She felt like someone who knew the world better than I did. Someone who had lived, someone who had learned. We talked as we worked, about the event, the lake, the weather, nothing deep, nothing personal, but her laugh was warm, and every time she looked at me, it felt like she saw more than I was saying. I caught myself watching her hands, the way she tucked her hair behind her ear, the soft crease at the corner of her eye when she smiled. I wasn't the only one who noticed. People exchanged glances. Someone nudged another. Whispered something. The idea formed in my mind like a shadow. She's older. She probably wants someone more accomplished, someone who has his life figured out, not someone like me. When the event ended, she approached me with that same gentle boldness, brushing dust from her palms. "Would you like to grab a coffee?" she asked, as if it were the simplest thing in the world. My heart jumped into my throat. "Are you sure?" I blurted. Aren't I a little young for you?" For a moment, just a moment, her face fell. Not dramatically, just the smallest flicker of disappointment, like she had expected more courage from me. She recovered with a soft smirk. "I didn't ask for your birth certificate." I tried to laugh, but panic had built a wall around me. I stepped back, mumbling something that didn't make sense, and she let me go. Not angry, not offended, just quietly accepting. And that somehow felt worse. A week passed, and I told myself it didn't matter. That she was probably laughing about the whole thing with friends her age. But when I saw her again at the next event, something twisted inside me. She didn't come up to me this time. She stayed with the volunteers, chatting warmly, keeping her distance. Her eyes didn't seek mine the way they had before. I tried pretending I didn't care. It didn't work. When the event wrapped up, I found her standing by the lake, watching the water shimmer under the early evening sky. She didn't look at me when I walked up. "You're avoiding me," I said. She lifted a brow slightly. "You made it pretty clear last time that you weren't interested." "That's not what I meant." I stepped closer. "I just didn't want you to think I was. I don't know. Some kid you needed to babysit." She turned to face me fully then, and her laugh was soft but genuine. "You think I see you as a kid, don't you?" "No," she said, almost in a whisper. "I see someone who listens, someone who notices things, someone who blushes when I smile." Her lips curved slightly. "Someone who makes me feel lighter." The last word lingered in the air between us. I didn't know how to respond. My throat felt tight, my thoughts scrambled. She walked past me gently, touching my shoulder just lightly enough to make my skin burn. "Call me," she murmured, "when you stop worrying about numbers." And she left. Her whisper stayed with me for days. When I finally texted her, heart pounding, fingers shaking, she answered within minutes. We met for a walk in the park that evening, and when she arrived, wearing a navy blue dress that moved softly with the wind, I realized something terrifying. I wanted her, not because she was older, not because she was beautiful, but because she made me feel seen. We walked through the park as lantern lights flickered along the pathways. She told me about the places she had traveled, the people she had met, the things she wanted to do but hadn't yet dared. I told her about my unfinished plans, my uncertainties, the gaps in my life I still didn't know how to fill. We laughed over small things. We fell into comfortable silence between others. But the entire time I could feel a pull, gentle, steady, undeniable, drawing me closer to her. Eventually, we found a spot beneath a huge cedar tree. The sky had turned a soft blue, gold, that brief moment before twilight fully settles. She leaned back against the trunk, watching me like she was trying to understand what I wasn't saying. "You're quiet," she finally said. "I'm thinking." "About what?" I hesitated, staring at my hands. "About how I keep trying to convince myself you're too much for me." Her expression softened. She scooted closer, the distance between us shrinking until I could feel the warmth of her breath against my cheek. "Maybe," she whispered, eyes steady on mine, "you're too much for me." That startled a laugh out of me. How would that even make sense? She lifted her hand slowly, brushing her fingertips along my jaw, her touch gentle but electric. Her voice lowered, becoming something intimate, something that hit deeper than words should. "Because," she breathed, "you make me forget my age." Everything in me stilled, the world blurred, the rustling trees, the distant voices, the fading light, all of it melted away. All I could see was her, those warm, searching eyes, and the vulnerability she didn't try to hide. "Does that bother you?" she asked softly. I shook my head, barely trusting my voice. "No, it makes me want to know you more." Her smile then, slow, real, beautiful, felt like sunlight breaking through clouds. She leaned in, closing the last inch between us, and kissed me beneath the cedar branches as twilight swept over us. Her hand cupped my cheek, my fingers brushed her waist, and for the first time since I met her, I stopped thinking about why it shouldn't work. Because in that moment nothing, not age, not doubt, not fear, mattered. Only her, only us.